All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to a Pants Plays Path of Exile. We're doing another Atlas strategy that I've been doing kind of as just something else to do besides Abyss. So if you're looking for a break from grinding out Abyss and picking up all the Abyss things, chasing Abyss nodes, then this might be a great strategy for you to try out. So this is a very interesting one. Scarab-wise, we are focusing mostly on the Incursion Scarab of Timelines. The way this works is that temples are generated at the end. The very last incursion that you do per map basically drops an additional temple then with whatever is currently on the temple, but everything is randomized. So for example, my current temple right here with the Corruption Chamber, I do have one. If whenever I enter, I happen to get one of the rooms upgraded to 3, then it's possible that this corruption chamber could be level 3 on the very first time that I complete the map, or the last incursion in the map. So this is kind of how we do it. For my layout, I typically just run the Scarab. If you want to optimize it, you would basically take it out the very first time you do it, and you would only run 2 incursions. But that gets kind of complicated. Essentially, what you're doing there is, instead of getting your first Scarab proc at 3, you would get it at 5, and then so it'd be 5, 8, 11, and 12, rather than 3, 6, 9, and 12. But again, that's just hyper optimization. If you want to do it, you can, don't worry about it. And so the other side of the Alva stuff is we're just sticking a bunch of Delirium Scarabs of Paranoia and getting a bunch of Delirium stuff. The cool thing about this strategy, unlike the Abyss one, is that you basically pick up all your stuff in one little place. You pick it up right after the incursion, because all the incursion stuff, you kill all the monsters, and then, hey, some stuff drops, pick it up, move on to the next incursion. Yes, there'll be map mobs everywhere. You might get a couple tings or stuff if you want to pick up, but it's, in comparison to the Abyss, you're not chasing an Abyss trying to chase all the little loot that's going to be dropping. And then at the very end of the map, whenever you complete it, you'll get a giant loot pool of all of the Delirium stuff, and that's it. So like 4 big pops, pick it up, and if you happen to run out of inventory space, it's pretty easy to just hop in and out. So but yeah, let's go over the Atlas strategy, or the Atlas passive tree real quick. Again, pretty standard start, much similar to a previous video about Alva. So we go up the left side, do grab all of the Alva nodes that basically are chance for Alva. That is very crucial. We do not run a Scarab for making sure that she's in there. And then a couple optional ones. I've been playing around with Flesh Merchant, and I've been playing around with Cursed Treasure. If you like doing them, you can. I haven't seen a large increase of like loot from it. Hypothetically, I could have gotten a divine drop from one of these, but it's also possible just drop from one of the other monsters in there. Do make sure not to take the 4 incursion one, because this will actually make it less efficient for this strategy. This is a 3 incursion one. And then it's kind of similar pathing where we path here to get essentially this is the most crucial one, where we get higher chance or faster chance at upgrading all of our rooms. And then going to the quant wheel. And again, I like taking the time dilation. It increases your magic monsters inside, which is also good for Delirium. Gives you more time in the temple as well in case you are struggling. And that's about it. I mean, that's it for Alva. And then for the Delirium side, we are actually not taking the nodes that will increase the chance of a Mirror of Delirium. What we're doing is we're just putting that on the map device. It is possible that if you want to take out some of these explicit mod ones here, or even the mapping ones, you can go ahead and do that. So it'd be these 4 nodes, and then you're gonna have to do this, and this, the nodes over here as well. So that's, like I said, those are some options if you want to shift it around, or you just don't want to have your Mirror of Delirium on your map device. Again, up to you. But yeah, what are we taking on Delirium? So the main thing over here is we're taking the 3 additional reward type path, which is great. We always like more Delirium rewards. especially if we happen to get them for free. And then up top here, we are taking essentially more progress so we can generate more of those wonderful rewards, more splinters, because simulacrums are also at 69, 70 chaos a pop, so lots of really good things to farm on the Delirium side. And then the other thing too here is Imagined Pursuits. Essentially, once you get done at the end of the map, we do like to do a one path map that's very long, so we have plenty of time to do Delirium, and then you kill the boss to get that extra +1. For me, I've been running Strand, and I've been typically getting between 7 and 8 rewards on the Delirium, so that's most likely what you should be getting as well, assuming your map quantity and stuff is, pretty similar. So but other additional things, we take a couple Scarab stuff. I usually just throw these on here because it's nice to get those tings. Getting Risk Scarabs is always great for the Abyss stuff. And I like to do Eater. Again, you can shift over if you like doing Searing Exarch. It's up to you. Just whatever you prefer. And then the other thing that I think is really nice this league is Singular Focus. I highly recommend it on all of my builds now, mostly because of the 16.5 edition. It's just so nice to get maps that either you want to run or sell that are, valuable maps. So I do City Square, Basilica. I think Strand is still really great as well. But yeah, that's kind of the ones that I like to do. But again, it's up to you for Singular Focus if you like it or not. So there's one last thing I did forget on the Delirium side. We do want right here, the bottom side of this cluster. You can take the top side as well, but the cluster jewels are not as important. League start, I would say, very good, really good money. But now that it's a little bit later, people kind of have their cluster jewels. At least the base rate of cluster jewels is a lot lower. If you like having a stock for crafting them, then that's completely different. Sometimes it's nice to just get the drops and not have to go buy them. But yeah, the main thing is we're grabbing just more chances at Delirium Orbs, because Delirium Orbs are also at least between 10 and 15 chaos at the bare minimum, and some of them go up to like 30 with the fossils and stuff this league. So Delirium is very profitable right now, and I think this is a great kind of alternate strat to the Abyss one that also kind of pairs really well with it, because we're like the Delirium Orbs, you can farm them so that you can also apply them to the maps that you're doing with the Abyss. Same thing with like the Scarabs. We're getting more map Scarabs so that we can get more Abyss stuff. I feel like they play really well, and it just gives you a chance to do something different. So, but yeah, that's pretty much the Atlas part. Let's just go over a quick on the maps. So this one, what I'm doing is basically on my Abyss strategy, I'll occasionally run the cartography Scarabs that give me the 8 map mods. I'll switch everything over to Strand with Singular Focus, farm a bunch of these so I have them in case I want to go do some of this Alva farming. And then, there we go. We got 8 crafted, wonderful 8 mod maps. It's easy. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to roll them. You just already have them. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and do a run, and I'll show you a little bit of like with the Alva Temple, what my strategies are typically. And then I'll go over just like a quick rundown of like good temples that, or like good rooms that you should probably look for. So.
Your life has been one long lie. I speak for no god.
Like I said, we'll still get pops and stuff on that you might want to pick up. Alright, we got our first Alva Temple. So the big thing here is that when you go into the Alva Temple, the Delirium Mirror actually stops, which is really what the important thing is. So here we're going to grab Explosive Room. It's kind of a toss-up. Explosive Room can be very useful in maps. If you're fully completing them, you usually don't need them, and like Lightning Workshop would be better for a chance at some good drops. But yeah, so we just kill our little dude, and then we kind of run around, and if you notice, as we're killing stuff in here, our Delirium stuff is also going up, which is awesome. Doo, doo, doo. The other thing I like about Alva temples are doors in here automatically open. I don't know why, but that's just such a nice quality of life thing. So, got our last bit. So we'll grab this one, and then I think there's one right here. One of the things too is when you're unlocking rooms, you typically always want to go essentially here, and if there's one on this side of the map. And the reason we do that is because it's more likely to complete a temple, you basically need to go up to the apex, and you have less chances at getting the higher tier rooms than you do at the bottom, like creating paths towards them. So, okay. So Alva didn't drop anything. That's fine. Let's check our merc over here. Okay, we got a little, we got a little happy merc here. Please take it. Cool. It's a nice little merc. Alright, so we got jewelry. Okay, so this is an example of like we're really close to the apex. So in this one, neither of the rooms are particularly worth it. So what we want to do here is we want to try to get an upgrade. So the easiest way to do that is just to kill the one that will actually upgrade the room. And we have roughly a 50% chance to get that upgrade to be a double. So it'll be immediately to 3. Let's get my stuff stacked a little bit here. And so since we got a stone, I want to go up to the apex. You can also check your inventory. If you notice, I have a secondary stone. And then I will use it on this one. Oh, so that's that Alva temple. Like I said, I'm doing this pretty slow just to kind of explain stuff. We got a couple drops. We didn't really get anything. It's fine. You're not really going to get all that much from the Alva temples. You might, like I said, I've gotten a couple divines from them, but usually it's just going to be maybe a couple small currencies, that kind of thing. The big drop is definitely at the end with the Delirium stuff. There's another reason I kind of like this strat. Cool. Alright, let's speed it up a little bit, because I'm a little worried I might not get the timer. Alright, so this is our last Alva for this run. Nothing particularly great, so I'll probably do the strongbox. The other thing too is on some of the rooms there won't be a starter, so you're gonna have to just choose one of the 2 rooms. Like I said, after you do it for a while, there's definitely, you know, rooms that you'll want in your temples. The strongbox one can be pretty nice, but again, you kind of are doing it to run the temple then. If you're doing it to sell, then it really doesn't matter. And I think we got one more. There we go. It's like one more pack. Cool. And so right here, we're going to get our first guy. So we can just pick it up. I don't think we got anything because I don't think we got anything to 3. But I'll check it here in just a second. So right now we're basically trying to get to 7 on our Delirium rewards, which we're very close. Hopefully, there we go. We hit it. So now I would immediately just go to the boss room. Especially if your build might not have as much NPC. There we go. So cool. We hit the 8. We got projectile damage is actually a medium cluster I would grab. It's pretty common to have as a good one in most leagues. And then if you want to, you can go back and just like clear out the last little bit. I really like Strand. Strand was actually one of my original, whenever I started really doing Delirium, I would run this, like I would call this home. You can also, I have put Strand on here. So I put Separat, Icy Brothers. I got this from the Ivory Temple, if you want to do that. Obviously, Basilica is another one that you could do if you want some div guards too. So that's just some additional stuff. But yeah, we'll go ahead and do... You can also turn off your Delirium. So we had plenty of time. I think it's because I had Temporal Chains on. It's a very interesting interaction with that. Alright, so there's our Delirium Pop. You can just pick it all up at once, which is wonderful. Yeah. You get some incubators, you get some, like, you just get everything from Delirium, which is nice. I don't think that thing is worth anything. So the Cluster Jewel, Like I said, I only pick up ones that I would potentially want to roll, and that's just not one of them. I don't know enough about bleeds, so... but yeah, that's our loot. We basically got about a full inventory-ish. Deli orbs. We got what? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 deli orbs. So at least 90 chaos from that. Probably a little bit more. We got lucky with the exalts and stuff, but so our temple, unfortunately, we didn't get anything. So you could honestly just throw this on the ground, which is what I'm gonna do. But yeah, sometimes what you'll do is you'll get like 4 Alva maps at once, which is like 1.5 div if you're doing the corruption chambers, or 2 div if you're doing ones that are the double. Sometimes you can just go on a streak. There's a little bit of gambling with the temple specifically, but you are guaranteed rewards with the delirium stuff as well. So but yeah, so like on here, these are some that are worth about 1.5 div to 2 div. I'm sorry, 1.5 on these, and then about 2 div on the ones that have both. I think I had some both ones, didn't I? There we go, yeah. So that one has both, so that could be up to 2 div right now, which is great. But yeah, I'll put down below kind of a list of rooms that are really good if you want to run them. It's essentially just kind of a ranking system. The most important one is definitely Chamber of or Locus of Corruption. This is your most expensive room, and your kind of goal for most of the temples is just to try to get those as much as possible. Doryani's Institute is the next one, and if you want to, you could honestly just focus on those 2 and then not care about anything else, especially if you're just selling. If you are running, I'll put a list of kind of the rankings of which ones you should probably consider. Yeah. If you like the video, do please like, subscribe, all of those fun things for the social medias, and looking forward to putting out some more content, Atlas strategies, and some build updates too. So y'all have a great rest of the weekend, and keep your I hope your corruptions stay interesting, especially if you're running your Alva temples. Bye.